Hi everyone, I'm Chris Wimmer, the host and producer of the Legends of the Old West podcast. I'm here in Deadwood, South Dakota. I'm on the grounds of the Adams House. It's a wonderful former house, now kind of a museum here in Deadwood. Has a lot of great things to see. I am sitting here with Kevin Kuchenbecker, the Historic Preservation Officer for the city of Deadwood. So we're going to talk about a couple different topics today, but we want to jump into a big one first, which is the evolution of the gravesite of Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane. They're obviously paired up now forever, for all eternity, so it has been through a number of different iterations over the years. Can you kind of walk us through the history of the gravesite, how it has changed and where it has been moved from and to?
Sure, Chris. So as you look back at the history of the gravesite, where it is now isn't the original location.
Okay.
Obviously, Wild Bill Hickok shot August 2nd, 1876,
Right.
and was buried in Ingleside Cemetery, the old Deadwood Cemetery, which isn't far from where we sit here today.
Okay.
In the grounds of the historic Adams House. The Ingleside Cemetery, very early on, was unkept. A lot of unmarked graves.
Sure.
And in 1878, they moved or started a new cemetery called Mount Moriah,
Right.
which is our boot hill, and up the hill from there to open up the existing, the old Deadwood for graveyard for settlement.
Sure.
It was much more flat area, and so in 1878 they moved the Wild Bill Hickok up to Mount Moriah where he rests today. The original marker on that cemetery was the wooden headboard that Charlie Utter left.
The Charlie carved, yep.
Yeah, and when it moved up to Mount Moriah, they started to realize that there was a lot of people coming to patronize the gravesite.
Right.
And so they put a marker on there. Actually, it's at the Adams Museum. It was a carving of Wild Bill, and what happened over time was the gravesite was vandalized.
Right.
You know, they'd take
people would chip away, yeah, little
and
pieces.
pretty soon, you know, his head's gone, his arm's gone, and that's what you have at the Adams Museum now. Later, there was another monument put up there, and once again, that was chipped away.
Sure.
And so retaining walls around there. At one point, there was actually chicken wire.
Right,
over
there was a fence
in
around.
fact,
yeah.
there's a great picture of Buffalo Bill Cody visiting the gravesite, and it's got the chicken wire around there trying to protect the gravesite. With the advent of our funding through historic preservation, we've recreated that second monument out of bronze.
Right, the bust of Wild Bill. Yeah,
Yep.
right, and that harkens back to the kind of the second generation of the gravesite. I believe there was a sculptor who created that first one that got chipped away.
Yep. And John Reardon was one of the sculptors up there, and local sculpture, come in from New York, I guess, but he did other work in and around the Black Hills. So in 1903, Calamity Jane passes away.
Right.
And in Terry, and so the community had a large funeral for her and buried her right next to Wild Bill, and that helped spur the legend of the romance between those two.
Right.
And you know, I don't believe there was any romance.
No, not from what we can tell.
Right.